Okay, welcome to Mary's web pages. We've got a new staff here. We've got an action woman and an action girl after. Anyway, this one is a special one. This video was made by an Irish guy in Yorkshire TV, Irish TV, called O'Brien, and it's very clear and you'll enjoy this one. We were joined on this film by two very, very dear friends of ours now, three actually. The two are from Ennis in County Clare, Michael OBrien and Philomena OBrien. They're both musicians in their own right. They both do recordings and then they record together. And the quirky part of this is a funny story. We live in a little town called West Orton, which is so small like that, in Lancashire. And although they have a house in Ennis, County Clare, they also have a house in West Orton. We did not know that. No. So from then on, we got to be very, very good friends. You know, we'd go and stay with Michael and Philomena in Ennis whenever we were doing a tour of that part of Ireland. Also, John Lowery. John Lowery was a lovely, lovely man. We were both quite taken with John. He had 3 Irish-themed radio shows. And however he didn't end up with his own Irish TV show, I'll never know, because he had all the capabilities and qualities to do it. A lovely man, John, right? And what else? That's it. You'll enjoy this one. And as I said, this is for we're dedicating this one to two very dear friends of ours. They live in Ireland now, but we met them first in South Africa, in Johannesburg. Christine Conley. Well, Michael Conley and Maura Conley was the mum and dad. So Maura is the mother-in-law of Christine Conley. She had 2 fine sons. They were both 6'6". They were like giants. And they ended up coming back from South Africa. They were a great help to Malcolm and Mary in South Africa. Michael, you know, and Maura, they really were. They were good, very good people. So we're dedicating this Irish film to these Irish people. And Mary, oh, don't forget, there's some more good ones coming up. Oh, if you miss these, you'll miss your way home. Ring that bell, Mary, quick. Oh, ding, ding. That's for Christine, that's for Maura. Give one for the boys.
Right.
And Mary's web pages, www.marymalone.com, or Mary's email, if you want to email Mary, it's mvickers, M-V-I-C-K-E-R-S, at Hotmail. Wait a minute, mvickers, V-I-C-K-E-R-S 44, I keep forgetting that, 44 at hotmail.co.uk. Bye-bye.
A Little Bit of Ireland is sponsored by enjoytravel.co.uk. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Richard OBrien.
Hello there and welcome to A Little Bit of Ireland here on Rural TV. Now, over the last few weeks we've had some fantastic feedback from our first show, and we'd like to thank you all for your emails and telephone calls to the office. Thank you very much indeed. On today's show we have spiritual healer Mary Malone. John Lowery from WFM in Manchester joins us. Martin Butterworth is here to tell us what's new on the country Irish scene. But first, a couple who has been on the country Irish scene for more years than I can remember, singing a song from one of their albums, The Right Combination. Would you welcome please Michael OBrien and Philomena.
I believe we have the right combination. Our love and happiness both seem so strong. I believe we have a firm foundation that our love can build and last forever on. There'll be times when you may doubt my reasons, but I know your love will always make a way. And I know that there'll be times when we'll have hard days, but it won't worry us, 'cause love is just
just that way. I believe we have the right combination. Our love and happiness both seem so strong. I believe we have a firm foundation that our love can build and last forever on. Some folk spend a lifetime searching for the right one,
and they'll grasp at any one of life's sensations. But you and I will search no more, for we have found it.
you and I have found the right combination. I believe we have the right combination. Our love and happiness both seem so strong. I believe we have a firm foundation that our love can build and last forever on.
Michael, Philomena, welcome.
Thank you
That was a
very
great
much.
song, The Right Combination.
Thank you, Richard. It's quite a while now since we recorded that one. It's the title track of that particular CD.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song, and it is the right combination, isn't
Well,
it?
hopefully it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, it is. You're looking fantastic. Look, absolutely brilliant. And Philomena, you look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
the-
Richard. Thank you.
It's the treatment.
It's the treatment. Yeah. He's obviously treating you very well. He's looking after you.
He is. He's looking
Yes.
after me. And likewise.
You're very, very busy, Michael.
We're fairly busy. Can't complain because everybody's been hit in one way or another by
Indeed, yeah.
the present state of affairs. But thankfully we're doing all right, and we're tagging along, and we're over and back here to the UK about every 4 to 5 weeks. And then we do our gigs up and down the country at home in Ireland, and we do some trips away, and we work with Enjoy Travel quite a bit, and we've been doing some of the cruises as well.
Great. That's where you get your suntan from.
Oh, well, we've just come back from Ibiza
Have you?
There.
Have you enjoyed it?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And what kind of crowds are you getting in?
Good. Very good.
Yeah, it's quite good, and Ibiza now was very enjoyable this time, and the weather was fantastic, luckily enough. The last time we were in Spain, which was last Christmas, it rained every day. But that's the luck of the draw, and
It
that's
is, yeah.
the way it goes. And
So, Michael, you've been a while in the business now, haven't you? How long is it?
oh, longer than I care to remember.
Yeah, I was just saying that myself. in
I
the intro.
recorded my first album, LP it was in those times, in 85.
Right.
1985, and it came out I think around Christmas time or December, and got first play on RTE, and
Can you remember the song that they first played?
I can actually. It was a song that I wrote myself called Nashville, and I think on the next programme a song called The Veil of White Lace was played.
And that was a massive hit for you, wasn't it?
And there was a top 10 going that time as
Yeah.
well. And the next time I heard it, it was the following week, it was number 1.
Right.
It just came from sort of no place to number 1.
Yeah.
And of course the shock of it nearly knocked me sideways, because
And of course that set you on the road to stardom, because shortly after that then of course RTE did a big documentary on you.
well, it was maybe nearly 2 years later.
Was it?
I had my second album recorded.
Right.
In fact, I had just recorded my third CD, my third album. There were no CDs at that time. And RTE became interested, and they were looking for somebody who was kind of a little bit different in the business. And the reason they were interested was because I had worked kind of from the bottom up, and I sort of more or less promoted myself as I went along. And then at the time I was working as a nurse. And so they were interested from that point of view also. And they came to do an interview. In fact, it went on for about 10 days.
Yeah.
And
the cameras
they
just
had
following
their
you
camera
around.
crew, and they went to various places, went to the studio where I had been recording, and I had just recorded part 2 of The Veil of White Lace, which became a hit all over again because I felt like the story needed a happy ending.
Yeah.
And I had this idea in my head for a long time, so I eventually got it down on paper, and I just recorded it, and they were actually in the studio doing the recording.
Right.
Well, we were doing the recording. And so from there on, the stations were playing part 1 and part 2 together. People wanted to hear the whole story and to get the continuity of the story.
Yeah.
So it more or less went on from there. I joined KTEL then at that point,
Yeah.
and had some very good years with them.
Yeah, because at that time, I mean, KTEL was a big organisation in Ireland.
They were sort of worldwide.
And so to have been signed up to that label was a very big thing.
And they did their first TV ads as well around that time for that particular album that came out then. It was called Something for Everyone.
Right.
And it was selling, I think, around between 5,000 and 6,000 a week, which was huge numbers in those times, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had got a silver and a gold disc, I think, within about 6 weeks.
Right. And at that time then, of course, you were with the band, and were you touring up and down the country?
I had my own band at that stage, and we were up and down the country, and we were over and back here to the UK, and things were going pretty good.
Yeah.
And so we continued doing that for, I suppose, about 10 years.
Right.
Things started to change a little bit for everyone in the business, and started to slip, I suppose, a little bit.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go with the times.
Yeah.
So then, as time went on, I felt I just wanted to do something different. I had taken leave of absence from the hospital during this time. So I just still wanted, I suppose, to keep my foot in the door a little bit. So I quit the band, and Philomena also had her own band up until that time, and so we started working together.
Right.
As a
Now,
duo.
were you married?
We were, when we started working together, yes.
Right.
We were just about.
And did everybody approve when you took them home?
Oh, yes, why not? Yeah.
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 Passed the
everything went-
test.
Good catch, was it?
Well, I think
Yeah.
so.
And that's great. And I must say that you work very well together, and you're known as the most friendliest band on the scene.
Oh, we really? Oh, well, no.
That's nice.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's been said. And so, what's it like being on the road with him, Philomena?
Well, it has its ups and downs, you know, but most of the time it's
Does he
all
pay you well,
right. Well,
or does he pay you too?
oh, well, I get the payment all right, now and again.
Yeah.
Yes, no, we can't complain now. We have our ups and downs, but sure, everybody has it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be any good if we, you know, but most of the time now,
The business
he's
is
all right.
The
He's not
business is
worst.
hard, Michael, isn't it?
It is, yeah. She gets me out of an out-hold every now and then, all right, you know.
Yeah. The business is difficult at the moment.
It is difficult, but it's difficult for everyone now, Richard,
Yeah.
and you have to sort of go with the times, and that's why we've been doing different things. And we were going to America, and we were doing some of the festivals in America, and we were doing the cruises, Caribbean and Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit different, and it took us away from our own local scene.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're thankful that we're still hanging in there.
And you're attracting some great crowds to the dances.
Not too bad now, not too bad. We've had some good nights, and I suppose you get both, and you have an odd night as well. There mightn't be.
Yeah.
You might be clashing with a lot of other bands around the place, and so they can't all have the crowd.
And the beauty is, of course, now you've a base here in the UK, which makes things a bit easier for you.
That makes it a little bit easier. I used to hate that drive across down to the ferry and across the country here again. So we just fly into Liverpool. It's 45 minutes from Shannon, and it's taking a lot of the pressure off. Yeah. Trying to make life a little bit easier, you know.
Absolutely. And so, in terms of what's the future holding, you're going to lots more tours and...
Well, I suppose we'll hang in while the going is good and while people will still book us and will still come out to our dances.
Well, you're wearing well. I mean, you're looking very good for, you know, if you're a few years in the business, you know.
Well,
so
you
put that down to the sun and the...
Well, I don't know, what do you put it down to?
Because you're getting a lot of trips away, aren't you?
We're getting quite a few, I suppose, all right, yeah. But we'll probably do some new recordings and see what the future holds then. And hang in there for another while.
One day at a time.
That's right, as the song says.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, listen, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Richard.
I've been looking forward to meeting you, and I'm delighted that things are going so well for you.
Thank you very much.
And keep up the good work. We'll be having another song later on in the show from you. But in the meantime, Michael and Philomena, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you for having us here.
Well, this month's competition is 2 free passes to the Country Fest at the Aura Leisure Complex in Letterkenny, County Donegal. This is being held on Saturday the 31st of July and Sunday the 1st of August. This includes overnight accommodation as well. Now, if you would like to enter this competition, all you have to do is ring the numbers on the screen below. All you have to do is answer this question. What is the capital of Ireland? Is it A, Cork, B, Dublin, or C, Brighouse? Calls from the UK cost £1 per minute, €125 from the Irish Republic. Closing date for the competition is the 25th of June. Please do not call after this date, otherwise you will be charged. Calls from mobiles will be considerably higher. Well, there you go, that's our competition, so good luck everybody. Now, joining us on the sofa is a man who's on WFM radio in Manchester. I'm going to talk to him now. John Lowery, you're very welcome indeed.
Thank you very much, Richard.
John, what is WFM?
WFM is a community of interest radio station that we started up in 2000 as a trial run for 24/7 for basically the community of Wythenshawe. It's to train people up in media studies. So obviously we get grants from the government to help people along, and then after we train them up they can go on to bigger and better things with bigger radio stations.
So how did you get involved?
Well, I was listening to the radio one day and I heard this Irish voice coming across and I thought, why not have a go at that? Phoned up and they said come down to the meeting, and that was in 2002.
And did you have any radio experience at all before then?
Just a few bits and pieces on hospital radio, working my way up.
Where was this?
In Trafford General and some in the Manchester Hospital.
So obviously, did you find then that the experience on hospital radio actually helped you when you went on to the community radio?
It is a great help because obviously you're doing a one-to-one with people.
Yeah.
You don't feel any pressure whatsoever.
Okay.
And then when you do get into the real radio situation, as I call it, it's a great build-up experience for.
Were you very nervous when you did your first show?
To a degree, yes. You get the little butterflies, unlike anything really.
Yeah, well, I remember doing my first show on Phoenix Radio 96.7 FM in Halifax, and I was extremely nervous for the first show, and I couldn't understand why, because I'd sung for years. Do you have the same problem?
Well, the way I look at it is, I'm not talking to the masses, I'm just talking to one person, like basically I'm talking to you now, and that kind of thinks like, well, basically you're just having a conversation, like on the phone or whatever. Where if you think too far ahead, then you get the butterflies. So.
You're originally from Dublin, of course?
A place called Portmarnock, just outside Dublin, where a lot of people went to bathe their feet in the lovely golden sands. So.
That's right. And so was Manchester your first stop from Ireland?
Yes, I came over in '72 to Manchester, stayed in Wythenshawe for about 8 years and stayed with my auntie.
So was it because your aunt was in Wythenshawe that was your first base?
Yeah, basically it was like a home from home.
Okay.
It was my mum's sister, and it was like a home from home. Got to know the area, and then moved away X amount of years later, but still had great roots for Wythenshawe.
So tell us a bit about the work that you did when you first started in Manchester. What sort of work did you do?
Oh, I've done anything and everything basically. I worked for a very well-known bakery which make exceedingly good cakes.
Very good.
No advertising, of course. And then I went on to do some landscaping with different companies, went into a bit of the rag trade as well. So I've done a multitude of things, but my real love is radio from day one. But it's very hard to get in, so I just worked my way up slowly and end up with WFM radio, which I'm very proud to be involved with and help people along.
So the Irish Connection, that's your show?
The Irish Connection goes out, yes.
Tell us about the frequency that you can obtain this on.
It goes out on 97.2 FM and also on the World Wide Web at www.wfmradio.org.
Okay, and so the type of stuff that you play?
Anything from traditional music across over to U2, and also what I like to do is give up-and-coming artists the chance to get their foot on the ladder.
Yeah, and you have lots of guests as well coming up?
Yeah, we do lots of guests with well-known and up-and-coming artists to give them and the listening public out there a feel for what's coming up, and so therefore people can go out and purchase the records. But it's not very easy, as you know. A lot of the big shops don't necessarily have an Irish section, so that's basically why a lot of the artists nowadays do online, so people can actually download or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And our friend, of course, Martin Butterworth, serves that purpose very well.
That's right. Martin is one of the sponsors of the show from quite a few years now.
He's and great support
we give plenty of plugs to Martin, so people know exactly where to go to find what music they want.
And so your show is on Saturday morning?
Saturday morning it runs from 10 o'clock till 12 noon. And it's got a mixture of interviews, competitions, the comedy slot.
Yeah.
A bit for everything and everybody, and people enjoy listening to it. It gets them up early.
Yeah, I've listened to the show. It's very professional. I must say you have a great voice for radio.
Great voice for radio,
and a great face for radio as well, I believe.
A great face for radio, but not for TV. So it's great to be here today, and you're doing very well.
Thanks very much.
With the magazine launch, of course. 1 year old, you've kept that very quiet.
Well, we have actually, but you see, we don't like to brag. But sure, now that you mentioned it, I'll just mention the fact that we are 12 months old, of course, the Irish Community News magazine. And of course, if you've not been able to get hold of it, of course, if you log on to www.irishcommunitynews.org.uk, or you can indeed telephone us on 01484 400 495, and we'll be delighted to give you some details on how you can obtain this. This is on subscription throughout the UK and Ireland, and everything you want to know about the country Irish scene, it's all in there. But thanks, John. Thanks very much
indeed. It's of course been very well received all over Manchester, all over the place.
It has actually, in fairness, and it's a lot of hard work actually putting it together. But we've.
Well, you're the man to do it, Richard.
Well, we have a great team here in Brighouse, and they work very, very hard indeed.
So as I say, it's like the radio, isn't it? You've got to keep it.
You've got to keep it tight.
You've got to keep it on the toes, basically.
Well, John, thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure having you on, and thank you for your support, because you do support us a lot. We very much appreciated that. Well done with the hard work that you do in the Irish community, and also on your radio show, WFM. And give us the frequency again, please. So
it's 97.2 FM and www.wfmradio.org.
And it's every Saturday morning? Saturday morning between 10 and 12. John Lowery, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have something very special. Welcome back. Would you welcome, please, singing a song from her album of wedding songs, Philomena McGovern singing The Rose.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream never learns to live. When the night has been so lonely and the road it is too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes a rose.
Well, this month's competition is 2 free passes to the Country Fest at the Ora Leisure Complex in Letterkenny, County Donegal. This is being held on Saturday the 31st of July and Sunday the 1st of August. This includes overnight accommodation as well. Now, if you would like to enter this competition, all you have to do is ring the numbers on the screen below. All you have to do is answer this question. What is the capital of Ireland? Is it A, Cork, B, Dublin, or C, Brighouse? Calls from the UK cost £1 per minute, €125 from the Irish Republic. Closing date for the competition is the 25th of June. Please do not call after this date, otherwise you will be charged. Calls from mobiles will be considerably higher. And now we're joined in the studio by Martin Butterworth, who tells us what's new on the country Irish scene.
Hi there, Richard. Great
Hello,
to be
Martin.
back.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It's good to see you. We had some great feedback on the last show with the reviews that you did. Tell us, have you got some more for us this month?
Yes, there's a good few come out this month.
And now, this month's featured DVD comes from Curtis McGee singing Your Health is Your Wealth.
Your health is your wealth, now don't you forget it. These are the words my father told me back when I was a lad, such a long time ago. Your health is your wealth, now I'm telling you so. It don't matter how rich with money you are, or if you drive around in a big fancy car. If you're the lord of the manor or the belle of the ball, if you haven't your health, sure you've nothing at all. Your health is your wealth, now don't you forget it. These are the words my father told me back when I was a lad, such a long time ago. Your health is your wealth, now I'm telling you so. Have all your riches of diamonds and gold, but they don't mean nothing when the Lord takes your soul. But the one thing that'll help you along every day is to stop for a moment and kneel down and pray. Your health is your wealth, now don't you forget it. These are the words my father told me back when I was a lad, such a long time ago. Your health is your wealth, now I'm telling you so. Your health is your wealth, now don't you forget it. These are the words my father told me back when I was a lad, such a long time ago. Your health is your wealth, and I'm telling you so. Health is your wealth, and I'm telling you so.
That was the DVD of the month. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have spiritual healer Mary Malone. Well, this month's competition is 2 free passes to the Country Fest at the Ora Leisure Complex in Letterkenny, County Donegal. This is being held on Saturday the 31st of July and Sunday the 1st of August. This includes overnight accommodation as well. Now, if you would like to enter this competition, all you have to do is ring the numbers on the screen below. All you have to do is answer this question. What is the capital of Ireland? Is it A, Cork, B, Dublin, or C, Brickhouse? Calls from the UK cost £1 per minute, €1.25 from the Irish Republic. Closing date for the competition is the 25th of June. Please do not call after this date, otherwise you will be charged. Calls from mobiles will be considerably higher. Welcome back. Well, in the studio we're joined by spiritual healer Mary Malone. Mary, you're very, very welcome indeed.
Thank you very much, Richard, for having me on.
Not at all. Now, Mary, what is a spiritual healer for those who don't know?
A spiritual healer with me personally is that I do it with the Rosary, and I do that all around the world.
So
it's a spiritual thing through the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit that does the healing. I'm only the instrument. And I often says to God, dear Jesus, why did you call me to do what I'm doing today? But I thank God from the bottom of my heart that I am able to do it, that I got the health back to be able to go out in the world and to show the love that God has for us all. We're all God's children. And of course, as you know yourself, Jesus is the only one that done the healing anyway. And we all have gifts, whatever they are. They're all gifts, as you have gifts. Those people here today that have beautiful gifts from God, and to recognise it is the thing. Be happy.
Yeah.
The Rosary is the most thing with me.
Right. So is it very religious based then with you?
In a way, I mean, I'm not over religious.
You're not a fanatic.
Not at all.
Okay.
No. I love fun like everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
And but because I was healed in Medjugorje in '82.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I was very, very sick since I was a child, really.
Yeah.
But I'm very strong in myself. I was able to carry it without people knowing that I was as sick as what I was. But I used to get pleurisy pneumonia nearly every year. And there was always something wrong in one part or another. Then I had...
and in those days, of course, that illness would have been quite serious, wouldn't it?
It was. And operations after operations, of course. But anyway, I went to Medjugorje in '82 when Our Lady started appearing there. Not at all to get healed, but to go and see, maybe I would see Our Lady. And there was 2 more people with us and my husband. And I was just barely able to go up the mountain. There's 2 mountains. There's the Apparition Mountain and Cross Mountain, which is very high. And I wanted to go on the Apparition Mountain. So the 2 women anyway pulled me up really, and I finally got to the top. And as I got to the top of that mountain, it was flat like this, a cart left my body. The weight of a cart of all the sickness I had all my life left me.
And do you believe then that you were healed at that point?
Oh, I've never been sick since.
Right.
Not as much as not even to a cold.
What does a faith healer do then? A spiritual healer rather?
A spiritual healer is what I was asked to do is to go with the Rosary, and it was Padre Pio then years after that asked me to combine.
And are you saying that these people spoke to you?
Oh, they still do. They still do it to me. And when they speak now, it's not like you and I speak.
Yeah, I understand
it's
that.
In your head.
It's in your mind, isn't it?
It's in your mind, yeah, or in your ear.
Okay.
You know?
And you get a message?
Oh, I do, and I got a message about this year,
right.
5 years ago, and I was just started. I didn't understand it at all. When she says to me, there's going to be a big change in 5 years.
Right.
The first thing she said is, no divorce, it's a road to hell. That was the first thing she said. And the second one was, what did I say to you then? There's a big change in 5 years.
Yeah.
And of course the change is that now we are seeing all these things that's happening, from the church to
yes, of course.
Ashes falling out of the sky,
right.
Planes falling out of the sky, right. Wars here, there and everywhere.
And do you believe that this was the message that was given to you some time ago?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I really, at the beginning, when I was told it, I ran to my sister and told her,
okay.
You know, and again, this was in Medjugorje when it happened, you see.
Yeah.
When she told me to go back to my own home, to my own country,
yeah.
and start the Rosary. Of course, Ireland, it was where I came from. That's where the rosary was always said, and we said it since we were tiny kids. Why would I want to go back there?
Yeah.
So I ignored it, and she came back again to me very strongly. Usually I can get 2 messages in a way from her. One can be in the middle of the day, one can be in my dream, and both of them can be similar, you know.
Yeah.
But this was she was talking to me in my head, and so I said to my husband Malcolm, God, you'll have to take me back to Ireland. The Blessed Mother is getting annoyed with me because I'm not doing what she's asking.
Right.
So he said, okay then, and we did. And that was where we started the rosary. And I said, well, I'm going to take it as far as I can around the world. And we did.
And this is
we
what
sold the home, we sold our business, and we could have been millionaires today. Instead of that, we have just enough
to get by.
Money doesn't matter.
Now,
you know.
You go out to San Diego quite a bit.
And we go out to San
What's
Diego.
the connection in San Diego?
The television. Like I can reach the people. There.
Right, and is that why you go there?
And that's why I go there.
And
yeah.
I know that the television company, is it Fox?
There's Fox and KUSI and there's NBC.
And they're very good to you, aren't they? They give you the airtime.
I've been 30 years going out there now.
Right.
You know.
And do you believe then that medium is getting your message across?
It is. It's surprising. I have stacks and stacks of letters of people that are being healed, not by Mary Malone, but by our prayers and by the Holy Spirit being able to connect them.
And do you believe that the Holy Spirit is working with you when it comes to perhaps trying to help somebody or?
Yeah.
You really
and
believe
of course,
that?
Oh, I do, from the bottom of my heart.
Right.
And Jesus now is back on earth, because this is what's going on. When the volcano went off the day before, I was saying my rosary, and I seen Jesus, and he wasn't 2,000 or 3,000 miles up in the air, but he showed me 2 planes, a plane there and a plane here, and he had his hands over them.
Yeah.
And I thought, now we're going back on the 19th of April back here. And I thought, what's that about? Is something going to happen with the planes? But then it's Jesus that I'm seeing. And next day, of course, the volcano went up and the planes came down.
So Mary, you would have had some successes over the years from people that said that they have benefited from your work.
Yeah.
But you also must have...
I never take the credit, because I know how Jesus is with us all.
Okay.
You know, I'm only that instrument. And if I hadn't got healed, I wouldn't be able to do it. And if I hadn't married the husband that I have to take me around, you know, I'm so lucky in that line. You know?
Right.
But that was something that the Blessed Mother, of course, had in mind, or it wouldn't have happened.
Mary, you must have some cynics.
Oh yes, so much.
Right.
Yes.
And what sort of feedback are you getting from those people? Because
there was only one television, and this television was here in this country, that nearly cut my throat.
Right.
Oh, completely lies. They never. You and I are talking now, and we're talking as I spoke to this television fella that came to me for 7 weeks, and which we found out after. Of course, he didn't believe in anything, and he put it out in the air that he just mocked the religion. That's what he done.
Right. So he was mocking the religion as opposed to, and he mocked you as well as a person.
That was okay.
And
it was me he was mocking.
Okay. And have you ever had bad feedback from other people as well?
No. You get the odd one saying.
What would you say if somebody said, "That's a load of baloney"?
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, and you do laugh with them. You know,
you do get that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now and again you would.
Yeah.
But I'm so well known, and they know so much about me and what happens through the church and through.
And do you believe that because of the work you do, that God has made you stronger to deal with this sort of thing?
Well, I think it left me with my healing, with my own help.
Yeah.
You know, I have wonderful help.
What's for the future, Mary? Because you're very busy, aren't you? You're all around the place.
I am.
Absolutely. You just come back from San Diego there recently, and Cork. You've just come back from Cork recently as well.
Yeah. And now I only just went in to see a little boy there.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I was. I never work here. I've never. This is where I try and build myself back up again. You know, I have my own. We have our own home, and there's a prayer room there, and that's what I.
So Mary Malone is going to be around for a lot longer than we think, then.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I hope people will realise what I'm trying to say is, please, please pray, because there's a chastisement going on, and we need the prayers to get out of it, because God is angry.
Right.
You know, and the
And you
countries,
believe-
you'll see the countries that has been really bad going to be down on the floor. There'll be
Okay.
nothing left.
Right.
You know?
And you believe that you're getting these messages, Mary, and that
Yes,
you are
I
being
am.
asked to
I am.
portray them across.
Yeah.
Mary, we could talk all night if we had a bit
I
more
know.
time. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
I
a
love
pleasure
every-
to meet you. Thanks very
Thank
much
you.
indeed for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Richard.
And maybe we'll have you back again soon
Oh, okay.
to talk about some of the more work you've done.
Yeah, to take me weeks and months and years
Well-
to tell the stories, and some are very funny.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mary. It's been a pleasure meeting, and thank you very much
God
indeed
bless
for
you.
coming on.
God
Thank you, Mary.
bless you, and God bless everybody.
Okay.
This is around you and in your work. You're doing a wonderful job, and you'll grow and grow.
Thank you, Mary. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and thank you very much for tuning in. Now, don't forget to tune in to my live radio show every Thursday afternoon on Phoenix Radio 96.7 FM, or log on to www.phoenixfm.co.uk. I'd like to thank all my guests who appeared on the show today: Mary Malone, John Lowery, Martin Butterworth, Michael OBrien and Philomena. And now to sing us out with a song called We Go Together, Michael and Philomena.
Places where we used to meet, we go together.
Step by step like shoes on your feet, we go together.
Just like the sand out in the sea.
What good is sugar if you have no tea? What good are you if you don't have me?
We go together.
That old feeling we used to get even feels better.
There was a girl you made me forget the day I met her.
Just like the tears in a baby's eyes, just like the stars up in the skies, like ice cream and apple pie.
We go together.
We go together like a storm and rain, just like a fire needs a flame, just like a picture needs a frame.
We go together.
We go together like the moon in June, just like a fork needs a spoon, just like a song that needs a tune. We go together.
We go together.
We go together.
Places where we used to meet, we go together.
Step by step like shoes on your feet,
We go together. Just like the sand out in the sea.
what good is sugar if you have no tea? What good are you if you don't have me?
We go together.
That old feeling we used to get even feels better.
There was a girl you made me forget the day I met her.
Just like the tears in a baby's eyes, just like the stars up in the skies, like ice cream and apple pie.
We go together.
We go together like a storm and rain, just like the fire needs a flame, just like a picture needs a frame.
We go together.
We go together like the moon in June, just like a fork needs a spoon, just like a song that needs a tune.
We go together.